Hey folks, welcome to the Do-It-Yourself Dad channel. We're sitting here in the back of the truck again because we've been doing some more work on it. And if you've been around the channel, you know we're getting this thing ready and we're kind of outfitting it to do some camping and some light off-roading. So we've put this best top on the top of it. It's a cloth cover. Right now we've got it opened up because the weather's nice, but you can close the whole thing up so you're airtight and sealed off from the elements. We also have a swing case in the back here. It's a nice swing out, removable, lockable bit of storage. And the next thing we were looking for was some sort of a power source. A lot of guys run dual battery setups on their trucks, and I was looking at those, but I kind of wanted the option to remove it if we were going to be doing something else. Now in the past I've used these Goal Zero units and they've worked great, but the folks over at Ecoflow hit me up about their new units, the Deltas, and they asked me if I wanted to check one of them out, and I told them I would be happy to, but I only do honest reviews on the channel. So if I don't like it, you're going to know about it, and if there's flaws in it, you're going to know about it too. And I told them that, and they had enough confidence in their unit that they sent it out. So what this is, they call it a power generator, and it's not a generator the way you would think of a generator with a gas engine. It actually, down below here, just out of frame, is a solar panel. So you can recharge it with solar, and it's basically a giant battery. It can put out your USB Type-C, and on the back side it also has wall plugs, so you can plug in a traditional 110-volt appliance. Now this is called the 1300, and the 1300 is a little misleading because you would think a 1300 is the output. It actually can put out 1800 watts. 1300 is the capacity. So let's go through this. We'll show you what it can do, what it can't do, and what I really like about it, and what I don't like about it. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below. Give me a great big thumbs up and leave a comment. Let me know what you think about these, what you've done for power, and other things you might think I might want to do to the truck. Now Ecoflow's got a pretty clever setup here for the solar array. On my last setup, it was just a raw panel I had to be careful with in the car. This one comes in a zipper bag, and the zipper bag actually doubles as the kickstand for the thing. So when you open it up, it's got all the cables, and it's actually attached to the bag by these two carabiners. You kick it out to the angle that you need it, and that's all you really have to do to set it up. The cables that it comes with hook straight into the side of the unit. And you'll hear a little beep, and now the unit is going to start charging off the sun. Now to give you a quick tour around the unit, it's got this really nice display screen here, and it shows here how many hours till it's completely charged. And right now we are charging off the solar panel, and the sun's going down, so we don't have direct sun really beating on it. And also on the front here we have USB Type-A, and then we also have the fast charge. These are the higher output chargers for your USB devices, USB Type-C, and you can turn those on and off. And then if you flip the whole device around, here's where we have our outputs if we're going to run 110 wall appliances, and it's also got this if you want to run one of your traditional cigarette lighter type appliances from your car or truck. Now along with all that, it also came with a whole series of cables. Along with the cables that came with the solar panel, it's also got these if you want to feed in through the USB-C connectors from your solar panel. You've got this guy, you've got the ability to actually clip this to your car battery and then charge it through that. And then, because we were talking about that dual battery setup, we've also got one of these. So you can plug this into your cigarette lighter socket. This goes into the side of the unit and it can charge it. So that basically turns this into something of a dual battery setup, and that when you're going down the road, you can have this plugged in and it will be feeding the power on this unit, charging it up. So when you get to camp or wherever you're going and you shut your vehicle off and this is no longer supplying power, you can run everything off your batteries. So it does give you some of that same ability as a dual battery setup, but it also gives you the versatility of being able to take this out and use it elsewhere. So now with that, let's show you kind of what we've managed to do with it and some ideas for what you can use out at the campsite. So of course there's the obvious application out at the campsite, which would be doing something like charging your USB devices. And you can plug them in here, and your device, once you turn on the DC side, you'll get that little beep, will start charging. And it'll also tell you right up here what your output is. And it'll tell you here what your output is and then how many hours left of juice you have remaining at that output. This is a very low output, so we have 99 hours remaining with the phone hooked up. Now another application of the campsite is a light. Now you might be thinking lanterns and whatnot, but with something like this you could use something easy like a clip light with an LED light bulb in it. So we can plug this guy in, and you've got your light output right there. Now this thing still is a very low output light, so we're still seeing 99 hours of juice remaining on this box. But let's take it a step further. Now let's take it a step way further and kind of ridiculous. Say you're camping in the back of your truck and it's cold out and you want to fire up a space heater. Now this thing at peak output, this thing actually uses 1500 watts of power. This thing's capable of putting out 1800 watts of power, and there's a low and a high setting on it. So instead of using your buddy heater like a lot of other guys do, maybe you want to use this. So let's see what it does. So right now the heater is running on high mode, it's on high power, and it's trying to push it out to 80 degrees. And right now it's pulling, it says 1536 watts, and it's telling me that I only have 34 minutes of juice remaining. So I started this thing and it was already low, it was only about 83%, and we're pulling this thing pretty much to its max. So you're obviously not going to be able to run something like a space heater off it. Not that most people would, but you could do it, but you'd only get about 34, 35 minutes at high. So let's bring it down to low and see if that makes any difference on this thing at all. And it made a little bit of a difference, but not a lot. Now it's pulling 1200 watts and it's telling us we've got 42 minutes of time. And another thing to note is the space heater here really isn't making much noise. I'm gonna move it out of the way. I'm gonna take my microphone and hold it down here. You can hear that there is some fan noise coming off of the unit, and that's because it does have to cool its inverters. So it's something just to be aware of, that it does make some noise when it's pulling very high wattage. Now going off-road isn't the only kind of camping we do as a family. We also sometimes go out in our trailer. So I wanted to see what all in the trailer this thing could power. So let's get her plugged in. So you can see here with the trailer powered, we're pulling about 54 watts of energy, and right now it's telling us that we've got about 17 hours of charge remaining on this thing at 81%, and it's running the trickle chargers onto the batteries right now and also running the refrigerator inside and the lights. Now coming here inside the coach, you can see that we've got our monitor here and our batteries are full, so it is trickle charging but not charging the batteries right now. But I want to try and see, this is probably one of my highest draw appliances aside from my air conditioner, so let's see if we can get a cup of water going. So right now it is cooking that cup of water. I have it on high and it's pulling just fine, no flickering in the lights or anything like that inside the trailer. And back outside it's pulling about 1300 watts right now off the battery to run the microwave. And finally here, there's the big guy, there's the air conditioner. I do not expect it to be able to run this thing. My Honda generator won't even run this thing, and it has a higher output. But let's see what it'll do. Let's first just try to turn on the fans and see what the fans will do. And you can hear there on low, the fans are running, and they're running well. So let's go see how much power just the fans are pulling. So looking in here, the fans themselves just alone are pulling about 225, 226 watts off of the generator. All right, so here's where we really torture it. Let's put it on low cool here. And you can hear there, it tried, but it didn't quite turn it on. But let's try another air conditioner that I have in the house, one of the small room air conditioners, and see what it can do with that. So now we're here in the garage. I have this little room air conditioner. I use this thing in the shop to keep the shop cool during the summer times. We do live out in the California desert. So let's power this thing on and see what it does. All right, so it just kicked on. It does take it a second for the compressor to kick on with this thing. So let's let it run a minute or two and see how it does once the compressor kicks on, see if this thing's got the juice to kick over the compressor. All right, so the compressor did kick on, and if you can hear me over the sound of the thing running, it's pulling 491 watts right now. It says I've got about an hour of runtime and I'm at 77% battery. So you could run it. You wouldn't be able to run it for a long time, but you can run this thing. And something to remember is that that compressor is not running the entire time. It comes on and off. So right now it's giving the hours remaining with the compressor running. You're actually gonna get a longer run time because that compressor kicks on and off during the cycle of the air conditioner. So now we've moved inside the house. And before we talk about this thing inside the house, I wanna point out something. I've got merch. So that means you can go down below, you can get this Build, Break, Repair, Repeat shirt and support the channel. I've also got links for where you can pick this thing up. It started as a Kickstarter campaign and they're gonna begin shipping in the beginning of 2020. But we're inside the house now, and this is where I really think this thing shines. It's quiet and it can power big appliances like your refrigerator. Right now my fridge is pulling right around 250 watts, and that's because it's running the compressor. But it's only going to run the compressor for a short amount of time each hour. The rest of the time the thing's going to sit idle. We ran our fridge in the garage for 24 hours, actually over 24 hours on that. So if you're in a power emergency and you don't have power, you might have to throw out all the stuff in your fridge and freezer once it's done because it thawed or went bad. This thing can prevent that from happening. And if you're an apartment dweller, you can't run a generator out on your balcony, probably. So if this video helped you out at all, please give it a great big thumbs up. Go down below, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Let me know what kind of stuff you'd like to see either on the truck or around the house, gizmos, widgets. We do it all here. Thanks a lot for watching.